Hello! Today I want to talk about how I got started with art. I hang around a lot on online art communities, and the most common question I see, hands down, is where do I start? So I've been drawing for 11 years, and I was mostly self-taught. I did go to art school for the past 2 years, so I just want to share how I got started and techniques I've seen with other artists that got started, and just basically where do you go from here. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to draw art books. Now, these books come in multiple genres and styles. They come in realism, painting, anime, comics. My husband has a zombie one. I had a how-to 3D cartooning when I was a kid. So you can find them for pretty much anything that you're looking for. And these are good for photography too. So some points for these books. They tell you what tools you need for the specific style or medium, because anything that you do is going to need a specific set of tools, so they'll tell you what tools you need to buy. You will learn in a textile format, which I think is important because yes, there are a ton of tutorials on YouTube. Excuse me, that's my dog. There are a ton of tutorials on YouTube and DeviantArt, but you know, I feel like you're kind of, if you're just starting, you're just kind of shooting in the dark. You know, doing the art books gives you a precise plan on where to go from here, where to start, so you're not, you know, overwhelmed or anything. It's a specific plan, a lesson plan pretty much. Another good thing is obviously they teach you the fundamentals that you will need for that specific style. Even if you're doing anime or comics, there's things that you need to learn, like anatomy and light sources, highlights and shadows, as even if proportions and whatnot are exaggerated. There's a method to their madness. There's a reason that they're doing what they're doing. So it's good to learn the fundamentals for whatever, specific to whatever medium or style that you're looking at. So art books are definitely a good way to go. I'm going to put a link in the description for my favorite ones. Now these are for realism. I do mostly realism, so I'm going to put a link for a few. If you want a link to the zombie book or whatnot, just let me know and I'll provide it for you. Okay, second one is copying other people's artwork and styles. Now, I mean this from a pure practice standpoint. I don't mean this, you know, you shouldn't be stealing other people's artwork, but if you, just for your specific practice time, find somebody that you like and try to replicate some of their work. I did mostly fantasy growing up, so I went through an Amy Brown phase, an Amy Thomas phase. I copied Zindy's work for a while for my own personal practice, and what I think is important about this is you will learn techniques, because obviously you're trying to copy what they're doing, so you'll try to copy their techniques. You will learn to try to find the techniques within their work, you know, try to pinpoint their work and seeing what they're doing. Another good one is it gives you a goal. It gives you a goal to work towards, so the closer it looks like to what you're trying to replicate, the more you know that you're improving. The more that you know that you're improving. So that's another good one. Every artist I know has started off with copying and trying to replicate other people's artwork. Okay, number 3, and this is a difficult one for me even for now. So after you've gotten the artwork, after you're copying a style, you are going to get critiques. Now this is a hard one even for me still. I'm not a big critique person. I hate getting critiques. I mean, don't get me wrong, I ask for critiques all the time. But the important thing about critiques is you need to know where you're failing so that you can improve. Now, I mean, I think it's important to say positive things. You know, when I give critiques, I always try to put a little positive, like, because I think it's important to know what you're doing right along with what you're doing wrong, but not everybody, especially on the internet, is so nice. So once you've gotten your art book, once you have a style that you're working towards, I think that it is important to get critiques. Now you can go online on like DeviantArt, and multiple art forums usually have a place for getting critiques, and again, it's not fun. It's never fun to know where you're failing, especially when you're starting something new. When I started with photography and I was like a shot in the dark, I hated it because all of it sucked, and I hated hearing how much it sucked, but it's important. So, and once you start improving, and once you have regulars that critique your work, a lot of times they'll be like, oh wow, you've improved, this is getting better, but this still needs some more work. But yeah, so you need to have a thick skin, but it is important. Alright, so those are just 3 things, 3 very simple places to get started if you're starting from the ground up. So again, I'm going to put some link in the description. I'm going to put some links in the description for the art books that I found helpful and all that. All right, and we say goodbye. We say goodbye, don't we? Yes, we do.